Hello, Radiant Lights. I'm Michele. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and those of you that have been traveling with me on the soul path, always great to connect with you. I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I've been talking about this quite a bit in a lot of my teleworkshops for many years, actually, probably, I don't know, 20 odd plus years, 25 years or so. And on my podcast, Awakenings with Michele. This sharing is, and reading is for any of you that feel that you are a light worker, recognize yourself as a light being and a starseed or starseed light being, whether crystalline or indigo, really doesn't matter. They're all under really the same umbrella. And by the way, if you want further, there's so much information I know online about this, but I did do a podcast with Dr. Richard Bolin, who did a lot of research on starseeds and starseed children, which to me are one and the same. And it's in the archives on my program, Awakenings with Michele. So you can, Google that or look through the archives on all podcast platforms and also on BTR where it was recorded live. And my interest in starseeds came at a very early age. I am a starseed. I've been aware that I was a starseed since I was about eight to about 11 years old. And I didn't know what it was at that time. I didn't find out what a starseed was until I was in my 20s. And I grew up at a time where we didn't have the internet, as I like to say, or internet. It was books, and all our studies were done, especially I studied a lot of Hermetic philosophy and esotericism and spiritualism. So a lot of it was books, but mentors, traditionally from what we call lip to ear, because the information was kept very hidden and underground. It was only for people, not for the masses yet. So I had a near-death experience when I was 4 and was later told I was a walk-in. My guides came to me. I actually didn't want to come back, but I got a lot of toys in the hospital, a lot of goodies to entice me back as a child. And later in my 20s, again, one of my astrologer teachers, Elliot Tanzer, confirmed that I was a walk-in. So back in the old days, we had to do a lot of research on our own, through small groups, through certain books, through texts, through studying, individually or in small groups, things like the Kabbalah, Tree of Life, all kinds of mysticism, everything from all levels and types of divination, astrology, numerology, tarot, of course. And, we met and we shared. And how I found out that I was a starseed was literally my star family came to me. I used to have a lot of visions. We used to have poltergeist when I was growing up. I had a lot of visions of spirits, all different types. There was kind of a lot of chaos in my, family, which poltergeists like to kind of thrive on that, right? And my mom had a bit of this also. I later found out she had this gift as well, and one of my nieces and nephews does as well. Not exactly to the extreme that I do. I came in very awake, very aware, definitely the teacher, the mystic to my family, my siblings, and definitely early on a path, very early on in my life. It's just been carved out for me. So my guides came and showed me where I came from. I saw myself looking down on the planet, and they told me, you don't have to go if you don't want to. And I said, no, I'll go. And I'll never forget that look. And if you look at some of my early pictures as a child, even in through my mid-20s, I always had this spaced out look, like, what am I, like, always looking up, and what am I doing here? Not quite fitting into the game, right? So that's one thing, starseeds, we fit in everywhere, and we are everything and of everything, and we know this, but yet we don't really fit into the quote unquote earth game. It's very hard to get the ambition and motivation. That's one of the things that designates you. You can be very high achieving. You have a lot of gifts. You can do a lot, especially at an early age. So I want to chat a little bit about this, connect in, give you some information. I've had some questions on my podcast. I am going to cover this also more extensively and have some guests on about this on my podcast, Awakenings with Michele. But I also wanted to connect with you, my YouTube family, all kind of one and the same, just a different way of connecting, because I have gotten a lot of information. What I can tell you is us early star seeds, and they're really all the same. I know people get into indigo, all these little fun, but it's really best not to try to get to, that's so much the ego. It's just a star seed is seeded with the new information, and you come in this way. You see things very differently. I'm going to share with you some of the attributes, some of the ways of thinking and being, and what's coming up right now in this process of awakenings. We have many successions of awakenings. I'm going to go into that. Now, if you don't resonate with this, or you're like, I just want to get to the reading, that's fine. I'm going to do pick a card, pick a deck, pick a card, on what your mission is right now. What do you need to know as a starseed? I really feel the need to do this, and I'm just so honored that you're connecting with me at this time and listening. I'm going to have a little bit of a different platform also, or an extended. Some of you have asked that you want to talk more about your path or your awakening. Some of you are just awakening to the fact that you are a light worker, your other dimensional aspects of being, your star seed. Basically, everyone comes from the all that is, God, source, energies, the infinite that goes on, and we're all individuated aspects of the all that is. Now, some people actually come in connected to a soul or partially connected. Okay, well, that's why that part of the awakenings process is the soul alignment. Some people on planet Earth are not connected to a soul. We can see by their behaviors they're soulless, or they're so wounded that the connection was broken, or the potential for it to meld or come together. I've actually done energy work on some people years ago where they were so disconnected. One person I'm thinking of that was actually dying, leaving his body, and he was so off from his soul. He wasn't getting, and not spiritually connected either, not getting enough of the life force animating energy. And he had gone to many doctors and they couldn't help him. So there was that kind of reconnecting. So many of us as light workers, as starseeds, have the ability to do this. And I'll share with you, not all light workers are starseeds, but all starseeds are light workers. Okay, we work with the light. So where the starseed is your planetary, you come from another planet, another solar system, and you have awareness of that. You have a family, you have a guides team that you work with. The most important information that I can tell you that you know is you're seeded with certain information that is needed and necessary, and a certain mission that you're meant to do at a certain, there's like a time code, an energetic, within the energetic matrix, the DNA matrix as well. So therefore it manifests on a cellular level. So this encoding, now I came in with this. I was channeling at age 4. And so I had help in the beginning, like, this is who you are. This is what you're about. This is where you came from. I was shown where I came from. Some starseeds don't know that until way later. They just have a lot of attributes or, qualities or characteristics. Or some later, your encoding happens that you awaken to this aspect or this part of you. Light being recognizing that you are of the light. You're a being of light. which is an other dimensional being. So all starseeds are hybrids or other dimensional. Many of us have either walked in or were hybrid. Now, on some level, many humans are too. Don't realize that. Another great episode on my podcast you might want to check out with Dr. Hank Wesselman, who is a paleontologist and an archaeologist. He is well known for he and his team finding, I think, the oldest skeletal remains, I think was an 10,000 year old woman. And he's been on National Geographic. He's done a lot of, national radio, TV, media, print media, visual media. And many of the scientists that I've interviewed, or paleontologists, or archaeologists, many do say that our roots are in the stars. Perhaps Einstein, Carl Sagan knew of this as well, right? Carl Jung as well. There's many, Rumi, there's many that have talked about this, that we are hybrids, and most indigenous cultures know this and know that it's our star family, that there's this partnership. For some reason, it scares a lot of people. I mean, I think that has to do with, government and what's written. That's a whole nother topic. We can get into that at another time. And in fact, at a side note, it's best not to get caught into fear right now or get into us and them and factions and trying to fight. It's best to connect to your mission, because you will be guided and helped to thrive and do really well and help people, as long as you can stay out of the lower 3D, 4D interplay, unless you're meant to be there. You got to know your lane. That's what my guides say. Know your lane. It's not a bad thing. Your lane is where you're cruising, where you feel comfortable, where you're in your personal flow, your authentic energy, your genuine life force animating energy, your genuine connection to your own soul, right? The most life enhancing for you, the most resonance, the most coherence, the most harmony within your body-mind system, and connecting to your soul and being spirit led. Okay, so you all know what that is. When you connect into that, and the people that support that and get you, miracles happen. A lot happens in that place, and it's meant to. It's a highly, highly activated, attuned way of being in your life. And many of you are waking up to this call. You're waking up, or reawakening, or awakening further. There's so many awakenings. So the Starseed, we're seeded with this new information, and this is why a lot of times we just don't know how to play the Earth game. We just don't get it. We're not competitive. Starseeds. I knew I was a starseed because I was told I was. I was told also where I came from, the solar system. Very early on in my 20s and early 30s, I had, not only that I saw, but other people, a lot of apparitions, physical manifestations of the light. My aura is magenta. Years ago, I used to do healing, pranic energy healing workshops and teach this to people. We would use Kirlian photography before people did the healing work, learned the tradition, the technique. And then after, so we'd have their aura after, or before, when they were rushing there to get there to the workshop. And then after, and I was already told by my guides that I have the magenta aura. Well, of course, maybe I'll post it. It's on Facebook somewhere. And I think it's also on my Instagram. Lo and behold, when they do take my picture before and after, it's magenta, a bright magenta. I share this with all of you because if you really connect in, and many of you probably are already doing this, you do get the signs, the messages, the confirmations of the information that you're getting, whether in meditation, with your guides, when you're in that trance state, or the lucid dream, or you're getting those visions, you're getting those messages. If you're really on track and dialed in, you will get the physical or the human confirmation of this. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And the magenta realm is operating from the 9th at the minimum, but usually 10th and 11th chakra and dimension. It's about working with group energy, or we call it group love, or the agape. Agape, not meaning not just personal love, but group love or universal love from the universal heart. And it is about connecting in and gathering the soul tribe, the soul family together, working on a soul level. That's what I came in here to do. And I've been doing it since forever with my friends and family and parents, but I've been doing it for a very long time. So focused, in a focused way, I would say since the early 90s. And then I went back to school and retrained and did a lot of deep apprenticing, shamanically, and as a spiritualist. So a lot of different disciplines. So you want to know, well, how do I know I'm a starseed? What is that? Or a light worker? Light workers, again, you're working with the light, which means love. It's also the language of light. You're working specifically vibrationally to shift people, to help them align to the truth of who they are. Now, there's different types of light workers. Some are teachers, some are healers. So not all light workers, some teach, some do it through art, music. There's different ways to work with the light, to bring enlightenment, to bring the awareness that we're already of light. We're already enlightened. It's awakening to that. So many of you find yourself in positions where you're always bringing a healing energy, or you're bringing insight or awareness or inspiration, or you're healing people on the emotional level. Many of us have come back here or descended into matter to work emotionally. And of course, we always have our human component where we have to work with the human body mind system, that the generational, societal, ancestral transmissions that are on a cellular level, because we're coming in human form. And we have our own learning also that we have to do. And one of them for starseeds is to be able to fit in everywhere, even when you don't seem to, or people notice that you're different, or they might be drawn to you because you're very different. I knew I needed to be on this path early on in my career. I always in my vocation was working on myself and studying since, other dimensionally, and with my spirit guides since a child, and especially from 8 to 11. But I also started astral projecting and becoming much more aware psychically at age 14. So it happened early. And then I went to high school where we had yoga and meditation. So I had that orientation. And so if you're waking up to this, that you are a starseed or light worker, recognizing that you are a light being, you're naturally drawn to the healing modalities. You're naturally drawn to situations where you can serve, where you can give. So let's look at starseeds. We come in very connected to animal beings, especially domestic dogs or cats. We usually have them, or they're drawn to us. Or even if you can't have a pet when you're growing up, or wherever you live, they'll just show up and they'll be there for a particular time. We're very telepathic. We're very empathic. Can read energy. One of the things that we have to work on, many of us as starseeds, is that a lot of times we come from families that don't reinforce that in us or support that. So there can be this doubt that later on we work through, where we no longer doubt ourselves or what we receive. You receive a lot of information through dreams, highly sensitive to energies, electromagnetic frequencies as well. Healing ability, being able to naturally heal through, especially the hands or touch, or just being near, or through intention also. You'll also find you go through a lot of changes because you're wrapping up cycles. So many of you are here coming down to help for the last time. You're here for this big realignment. That's why my website's called Soul Playground, where we're changing the game. We're ascending. We're going as much as we can on the earth plane, which is to have this type of creation on the earth plane. We have to have polarity. It's part of the earth plane is on a polarity. It's on a spectrum. So we have to work within duality, right? But that's closing the gap between the left, the right, the masculine, the feminine, divine masculine, divine feminine, the divine in all its forms is what it is, and getting and rising above so that we're not living out the extremes of the polarity. So each starseed comes seated with a specific area to work on themselves that corresponds to what they're teaching or helping or healing with others. And many of you sometimes right away or later on in some point in your unfolding, you'll be given the ability to transmit energy. And that helps you shift. Usually very intuitive to very psychic, also able to open up to channel, whether it's as a medium with other energies or entities, or your own starseed family, or your team that you come in with. Starseeds always have a team, a group that we need to connect with. I specifically also work with the spiritual hierarchy and the oversoul, so part of my mission is to help those in the awakening, give them the knowledge, the insight, the tools, and to work on the emotional body, the energy and motion, to clear that enough so that that becomes directed energy of passion and purpose to co-create the new paradigm that is based on more life-enhancing expression, soul expression and experience. And it's based more on creativity, and that each person has their own message. They have their own mission. They have their own contribution to the world, to the universe, which is needed and necessary at this time. Each of us is a slice, is a part of the whole that comes together. So I'm not going to get into all of the specifics of a start, just a bit of them. You might find you have weird allergies or things that happen through the body that you process, certain foods that you just can't eat sometimes, and then other times you can. You'll feel like you're always changing, and that those that are around you always change or transform. They get better by being around you. Even in your worst times, trust me, and I've had, less evolved times. That's it. We all have parts of us that that don't have the same level of consciousness. So we always have little blind spots that we have to work through, little ignorance areas of wounding. As a starseed, you also may find that you move through people or situations rather quickly. You're bonded, but not overly attached. I can say that's definitely been true for me, other than my wonderful Yoshi, my little fur baby, that amazing conscious love, joy being in an animal being body. Some of you know of her. So I learned a lot from her, especially about being more telepathic and working that through. So many of you as starseeds, you will get a familiar, you'll get a close animal being. Usually it's a dog, sometimes a cat, or both, or it could be more than one, sometimes horses. You'll find yourself very in tune or in touch with other species, or even plants, reading them, rocks, trees. Years ago, doing a healing class, one of the exercises was to get near a plant and to project the healing energy towards that plant, because everything grows towards the light or goes towards the light, and we would have that plant would actually lean towards the healing light energy. So many of you may find that you have that naturally, right? Sometimes also disrupted sleep patterns. You may find you go through certain patterns and you don't understand why, or certain times where you're getting a lot of information, so you might be feeling very tired or groggy in the morning, or you're finding that you're like, for me, when I first started channeling for 2.5 years, I was awoken every day between 3 and 5 a.m. And I was told I would meet certain people and I was to give them certain information. Or I would be doing an astrology class or workshop, or meet somebody out doing whatever. And then that morning, boom, I was awakened and my guides came to me, and I would just write out the information, and then they would tell me, give it to this person, So for me, what I heard, what the people that I delivered the information to as the messenger, they said, this is channeling, you're doing channel guidance. I'm like, okay, this is what I do. And it's just started up, just took over my whole life. Everyone always said, oh my God, I've been praying for this, or I needed this information, or there's no way you could have known this. This was highly confidential information. You know, there's no way, but I needed to hear this, or thank you, you know. And then later I started reading for people, people somehow found out about me, and all over the world, people were just calling. And I would just sit at home and just answer the phone and do readings until I read for this one astrologer in Newport Beach who said, you're really good at this, you should charge. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. And I've been doing modeling and acting. I've done other stuff. I taught school, and mainly I was modeling and acting, and that got put on hold so that I could just do this channeling. And then I went back to I had a TV show. But I was always doing my psychic work and my healing work. That never stopped, you know, because that's the main thing. And whether I was on a TV set, modeling set, on location, I was always connecting with people, talking about spirituality, meditation, maybe doing some healing work, doing a little Reiki, pranic healing, talking about being intuitive, psychic, what is that, or sharing the books I was reading. And usually most of the people on the set were interested in this. You know, one of my agents used to say, don't tell people, Michele, you're psychic, you're going to scare them. I was like, what? She goes, people weren't scared. They were fascinated. So I share this with you because it's now a much different time where there's so much information, there's so much support, there's so much help, because this part of the awakening, which went into the converging flow, where everything is happening all at once. Everything is speeding up. You know, everything is more extremes. The climate change, the people awakening, people, you know, wanting more connection. You know, we have this pandemic. So it's globally, internationally, recognizing and feeling our oneness. We've got, you know, at this time when I'm doing this video, the rioting, the inequality. And of course, we could look at this astrologically, that this is the Aquarian age coming in, saying, let's level this playing field. It's also this North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius. Everybody being their own messenger, getting out there and saying, my voice needs to be heard. Our voice needs to be heard. This community needs to be heard. Taking the old model of religion or old beliefs that aren't working and expanding them through that Jupiterian energy, okay? And a lot of this also started with that Pluto-Saturn conjunction. So this upheaval has been happening. I was also there at the harmonic convergence. So that's when the shift, some people say it was in the 60s. I don't know, you know, that's before me. I do know that for my guy, the late 80s, when we had that harmonic convergence, that was the harmonizing. This is when the unity consciousness started really taking hold. Even though you couldn't see it, many of us on the fringe could feel it, and we were responding to this, the soul, to begin to connect beyond the wounding. Then we come into 2005, all of a sudden, well, we also had this configuration before 2000, I think 1999. I think it was around that. There was the Taurus configuration. So again, more of this light, this higher frequency energy started coming down more and more on the planet, or within this energy of us, this acceleration. Then 2005, the converging flow. And if you look at what happened in 2005, you will see that fires, climactic events like that, hurricanes, tornado, things that used to be every 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, even 500 years, started happening every 2 years and then yearly, where it was like, oh my God, we haven't seen this. The tsunami was 2005 in Thailand, which I think the last one maybe was 100 years of that bad, that maybe it was even longer, I don't remember. So that escalated. Then 2009, and we had Dr. Jude Curvan talk about this on my podcast, astrologer, cosmologist, and physicist. 2009, we moved into the part of the awakening. Everything's happening all at once. There's this unifying principle underneath. Unity, 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 come together. The idea of oneness, that we are all from the same source, but we separate out. Even as a starseed, okay, because your last incarnation or be living other dimensionally, we still come from undifferentiated energy of the all that is. It's just we don't have our roots deep in the earth, or every time we've dipped down into earth to help, it's been at these major transition points, these turning points. We return to help out, and then we expand back into other, whoops, sorry about that, into, you know, our other dimensional self. We're aware of our other dimensional self. That's another thing with starseeds. You'll be aware of your other dimensional aspects of being. You have great past life recall also. So here's this converging flow. It all starts happening. Everything, you know, people are, then 2007, 2008, you know, we get this hit economically within the United States, internationally, right? Things are starting to shake up. Now this starts that soul alignment where it's like right relationship, right livelihood, right relationship to yourself, to your higher self, to your expanded aspect of being. Right livelihood, are you living genuinely? Are you living genuinely, soul connected? What's not authentic? What's limiting in you, holding you back? Woundings, you know, human ego woundings that are kind of running the show, right? Then we move into high gear, even 2011. Actually, it's before 2012. A lot of people think 2012, but if you look at the aspects of 2011, the energy decidedly shifted. This is when the game really started changing. So the gearing up of the soul alignment, you start seeing that more people are awakening. Instead of just there being about health and fitness and yoga, now we start seeing about meditation, mindfulness. Okay, then we were further helped in 2017. There was an intervention that happened where many of you might have felt stuck because we were being reorientated. There was an entrainment happening to that what's coming more from the soul is what is going to be manifested, what is going to be the focus, not so much the ego and just trying to make a living or make things happen. Now, again, this, you may look around and say, well, not everybody went through that. No, but if you're a starseed or a light worker, you're at the front line. Some of you are a scout. You go ahead. Some of you are working within the system. Many of us are not. Many starseeds do not work within the system. We come in and we're creating the new way, the new tools, the new books, the new shows, the new products, the new forms. We're seated with the information so that as more and more people awaken, whether it's awakening in a financial area, awakening in a civil rights area, awakening in a spiritual or religious level, awakening in a love level, self-love, all these different areas are encoded with this timetable to have these different awakenings while everything else is also being dismantled. So you started seeing in 2011 a lot of dismantling. Okay, you actually saw it also in 2001, right around that time, which I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we may have also had a Venus transit at that time. Not sure about that, but you can look it up. So I'm just trying to give you a little bit of context, but what's coming through. So we've been having this reorientation process, and now we're in it. And now the next level, whatever you believe, just know that spirit, the all that is, the trending energy underneath everything, underneath the surface, uses everything and everyone. Even the most unconscious person or situation is ultimately being used for the most life enhancement. That's just how nature works. So even the ideas of the vaccines, all of that, you're going to have to find, and I'll talk about this later, I don't want to get off track, but you'll have to find the loopholes, the way to get around certain things, and they will be there as long as you're aligned and you're listening to your soul, your higher self, you're staying in track to what is true to you. There is that guidance, there is that protection, if you will, spiritual protection, okay? So it's not about fighting, it's about creating. It's about creating the new way, co-creating the new way. And so again, because starseeds are seeded with the new information, the new way of being, you want to reach out, you want to help, you want to create, you want to reach more people. We're already feeling the new. We're already ready for that. In a way, we're already there vibrationally. We're already there, many of us, in our experience and our expression, and we're looking around. We're putting the echo out. We're looking around for our soul brothers and sisters, our star brothers and sisters. That's where we need to be right now. So as a star seed, that's where you need to be, is looking around for those like you, not excluding other people that aren't, or don't maybe know as much, or aren't as aware, or maybe are still more wounded and doing deeper healing, or maybe they're not going to fully awaken. Not everybody's going to awaken. This is only about a tipping point, and we're at the critical mass right now. We're at the tipping point. We were like this, and now we're going here. It's happening. We're in this. This year is a 2020 year. It's a double turning point year. Massive change. Many of you have been seeing 10-10-10. Those of you that have been seeing 10-10, it's big changes, lifestyle changes, reorientation, focusing on what best nurtures your soul, what kind of lifestyle environment, so you can do the more expanded work, so you can open to more expanded consciousness and awareness. If we look astrologically, that's that Uranus in Taurus, higher frequency energy on the planet, in the systems of money and what we value. So Pluto in Capricorn was working, right, with the structures, which relating in relationship is also structure. Relationship, structure, energy. So this is all about working with the energy and seeing the interplay of the energy and how it is shifting. So we devolved into matter as far as we could. The farther you devolve into matter, you separate out, right? So if this is matter and I have this card and this card, even though they're connected, but when they separate out, they seem to be different, right? So we went as far as we could in that game of separation, or feeling of separating, that you feel separate. It's called that original separation. Sin in Latin meaning that separate or separation, or without. Sin, without, sin. So without something, without that connection to source, so that we would have been extinct. So the ascension, the rising above, the coming back up the spiral, is to embrace and extend into other vibrational aspects of our being and live that out, to live the multi-universe consciously, other dimensions, past, present, future self, to be able to live in those realms, which some people call virtual. We do it virtually, right? We do it online, we do it in Zoom, we do it right now, we do it live, where my physical body may be here, or not, able to remote view. That's another thing, starseeds, we're able to remote view. We're able to project ourselves into other environments. Sometimes when I'm doing a reading, I see exactly where the person is. I ask them, or what do you wear? I see a white polka dot shirt. Oh, I'm wearing that right now, and I see you under this tree with all this, in this garden with all these flowers and a fountain. Oh, that's where I'm sitting, or that's in my backyard. All of this is going to be more and more commonplace, especially for us starseeds, light workers, especially for the starseeds. Light workers, you have the choice whether to go into that, to learn that, and to embrace this. And then eventually it will be more and more and more commonplace to be, more people will be born empathetic. more empaths. You see more and more now. You see also more that are not the narcissists, but eventually we will not have borderline narcissism. We won't have those ailments of personality disorders or mental health issues. We won't have that anymore. We won't have fear because we won't have to use the ego in the way that we do. Right now, it's still part of our psyche, our inner psyche, and the defense mechanism within that. We need it. You know, the survival mechanism from the limbic part of the brain to the medulla oblongata, you know, right? The reptilian brain, our ancient. But when we're telepathic, when we're trusting the vibes, we won't need that. We'll read everybody. We'll read everything, and not in judgment, just like, I'm not going over there. But when we don't have the extremes of the polarity anymore, there isn't the us and them, the have not. Everybody is in their own game, connected to their genuine soul aspect or way of being, their expression, the genuine expression. So it doesn't matter if you're living in a little hut or a mansion. There's no have and have not. It's what I choose on a soul level to experience and express. There's no this is better and that's better. There's much more of a choice and co-creating the reality within the consensus reality. So in a way, many of us, what the game is we're doing is we're changing the consensus reality enough to allow the ushering in of the new emerging consciousness of the new paradigm. So that's what that tipping point is. And how we do that is by more consciousness. On some level, all change, all growth starts from a shift in consciousness. The shift in consciousness brings a transmutation of energy, and the transmutation of energy brings transformation. We do this through light, through the language of light. And light expresses as information, a new information that comes in that creates new formations or new forms. The cohesive or binding element of light is love. In essence, everything is either a cry or an expression of love. No matter how weird, skewed, heinous, wonderful, beautiful, amazing, it is that vibrational aspect of our being to echo, to broadcast and to receive, to extend out a creation, an act, a form, ourselves, soul, the individuated aspect of the all that is and what that means, to express it and extend it out and then to be met. So the idea on a soul level is that we've individuated, we've extended out, we're unique aspects, individual aspects, but all of and from the same source. Hi, I'm not sure what happened, but something came through anyway that blocked the camera. So I'll just have to do this in parts. So as we connect in more to our soul gifts and live these gifts, live them out, express them, these soul gifts, talents, abilities, and recognize our own message, what we're encoded with, and release that or express that into the world, we greatly, greatly shift the awareness and consciousness of the universe, and specifically of the earth plane. We're changing the game by what we value, okay? So when we value more our soul's gifts, people connecting over money, that greatly shifts things. Not that money is a bad thing. It's great. It's fun to have. It's fun to play with. However, there's been this game of competition, competitiveness, is over ambitiousness to win at all costs, whatever that is. Is it winning the guy, the girl, the job, the money, the car? It's this pulling people off of their true gifts and the true meaning of, let's say that's the old game. We won't even judge it. There's just a different game that's coming into play. There's a game that is coming more from the soul level, ultimately will be completely, as the personality is subsumed into the soul, or the soul comes in completely to the personality. People will be responding and living more and more from the soul, and our institutions, everything within a society will be based on this authentic connection. And so we will see decentralization on the government, the federal government having less control, the people living more tribally, more community-based, having governors of states governing more. And so things being more state level, city level, community level, and tribes within that. Now, this is the difference. So that it's not about going back to the tribes of we don't like them and they don't like us and them. It's finding the resonance. This is why it's so important for starseeds and light workers, you starseed light beings, to really trust your intuition and where you're guided, not out of us and them, not out of duality or they're less evolved and I need to do, but where do you really resonate to? What do you resonate to? Who do you really resonate to? That's going to be more of a match. So it's right now, it's not about learning through dissonance. That was in the old game. There was a lot of dissonance and trying to fit in. Starseeds, you don't want to try to fit in. Your gift is in not fitting in. If you fit into the system and society, you wouldn't be able to see what you see, feel what you feel, and do what you do. This is very important. The not fitting in is because you fit into the future. You fit into the bigger scheme of things that wasn't yet created or built. So what I'm sharing and talking about, I have been for probably, I don't know, 30 years. So, and now clients and friends of mine are, oh my God, Michele, exactly what you said is happening now. Or you were telling us this was going to happen. Or you're talking about the soul. Now you see soul. We even have a car called Kia Soul. We have soul of the nation, soul of politics, soul of finance, soul entrepreneurs, soul of business. It's not just about the spirit, the life force animating energy. See, to talk about spirit was a lot easier for people to talk about. Spirit, spirituality. People knew spirit is the life force animating energy. But when you talk about the soul on a human level, humans, because I encountered this talking about the soul, there's a limitation there that is perceived, because as a soul, you do come in with a specific mission, a specific way of living and being, but it's your very blueprint. Your soul is your signature frequency. It's the blueprint by which you thrive energetically. It's what you're encoded, how you're encoded to be for the most abundance, prosperity, love, fulfillment, however you say it. But on a human level, an ego level, people want to hear, oh, I can do anything I want to do. I can manifest this. That's why The Secret, it really doesn't work. No, you cannot manifest whatever you want. You can manifest whatever you want within your soul's path, your soul's journey, whatever you're encoded with. Because the soul doesn't look at, that's only the ego that in a sense wants what it doesn't have, or what the consensus reality or the mainstream collective, the mainstream consciousness, or what we call race consciousness says is cool, hip, important. You know, the whole idea of FOMO, you know, that's not the soul. The soul doesn't care. The soul is so in its joy of what it's about, what it's doing. It's very presence. It's manifesting on the earth plane or whatever plane, all planes, all dimensions. When you're living from the soul, you're reveling in your gifts and what you're bringing, and you value yourself, you value your soul, you value you. And so you value what others are doing. But you don't have to, as we live more from the soul, there's less envy and jealousy, because you're so attuned and aligned to who you really are, the truth of who you are, and you see your value as a soul being. You see your value here, you see your worth. And also, as the game changes, when we move out of that victim abuse, the victim consciousness, the slave, master slave mentality that we've had for thousands and thousands of years, whether we were in a patriarchy or a matriarchy, that game has been playing a long time. It's also played on other planets. It's based on separation. You can't do it unless you feel separate and not good enough. So that's changing. So we connect to the king queendom that we are, the divine masculine feminine that we are, the combo, we're the divine masculine, we are all of it. And so there is this great awakening right now. In the mainstream consciousness, they're in the rude awakening. But many of you don't have to play in, you're not necessarily in the rude awakening if you've been living awake and awakening more and more. Now it's about you actualizing your gifts, realizing the truth of who you are as a soul being, as a star seed, recognizing your gifts, and actualizing them, expressing them, living more soul-led, living from the gifts, the talents of being a light worker, and knowing how important that is, that it's a very important aspect of life. You're critical, you're needed and necessary, you're crucial, you're critical to this evolution, to this transmutation of energy, to this transformation, to this up-leveling. Your energy, your vibrational frequency has been being raised and raised, a faster, deeper healing, so that more of your undifferentiated energy comes through, more light is coming through, that you're imbuing and imbibing this light to be able to transmit it, to emit it, to broadcast a much clearer signal, to manifest from the highest aspect of your being. You are seated with a very high aspect of being, a very high aspect of consciousness. You're seated with the new information to build, to create the new forms. And so what is needed from starseeds now, the new forms that are needed, come through media, come through the Aquarian energy of, you could call it the 11th house, but Aquarian means it's not, it all happens. I love to look at it all from, the tree of life, from divination. I do astrodice, astrology, psychic channel, a medium, looking at the trends. They all fit together. Many of you know already this North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius. It's through media, it's through the internet. The internet is the inner net, the etheric plane, the ethernet. So we will be less over-focused on our denser physicality and connecting. We're being on training wheels by doing all this Zoom, by doing all this online teleworkshops, remote, training for remote viewing, training for telepathy, training for connecting more to the subtle energy, feeling each other through the subtle energy. Because we may not be able to use our smartphones, our phones, our telephones, whatever, our devices. We may have to do some things telepathically or remote view to connect with each other, or know how to connect with each other, or know what to do, or where to get our confirmations. So there's a lot of training wheels right now in the training to trust your gifts as light workers, light beings, starseed light beings. To trust how you came in and what you came in with, the gifts. Now is the time to use them. Now is the time to recognize, I may have not fit into the old world. I wasn't of that world. I came here to create a new world. Some call it the new world, group of new world servers. Being in service. But everybody's going to do it differently. There's groups, there's different tribes, there's different soul groups. Many of you that watch my videos, I talk about I'm tuning into soul stories. So we connect with those that are doing the similar story or similar play that we're doing. But we all come together. We all are just as important with our mission or what we're doing. But a lot of it is going to come through new forms, art, music, books, media of all types. That's the way we get the message out. That's the way we transmit the new energy, the new emerging consciousness, the new complex of vibrational frequencies that's coming through the new emerging consciousness. To broadcast it comes through media, different forms of medium, right? Different mediums, different forms of media, the medium. And so many of you, some of my clients say, well, there's so many books. Well, doesn't matter. Put it out there, because It's not the product. It's not the book. It's not the MP3. It's not the CD. Whatever it is you're creating, the painting, the picture, the photograph, whatever you're making, the house, it's your frequency. It's the frequency that you're channeling as a starseed and light worker, especially as a starseed, that what you're channeling is that higher frequency energy that has to be transmitted into new forms to help elevate or raise the consciousness, to help elevate and raise the vibrational frequency or complex of frequencies. Everything is vibration. Everything has its own vibration. But the vibrations need to match to fit together for more coherence, more resonance, and more harmony. So it's not so much what we do, it's how we do it. That's how we know people are really awake. It's not that, oh, you have so many likes or you're on the bestseller list. It's your vibrational frequency. It's, are you operating from the highest aspect of your being that's possible in this moment? Because that's what's radiating out to everyone and to the world and to the universe. So as all of you go out there as starseeds with what it is that you love to do and want to do, whether it's teaching or mothering or fathering or living more your neutral sense, maybe you're not binary, and that's what you're living out. That's changing the consciousness. You're living authentically. You're not binary, or maybe you're binary and now you're not binary, or you're all of it. Whatever it is that's authentically you. Many starseeds are coming in working under the ideas of, again, sex, gender. Some are working through race. You know, even when I was modeling, they had a whole section that just started called ambiguous, and I got a lot of work because I was ambiguous. I could be many different races. You know, they tell me, oh, you could be Latin, which I am Latin, but I'm mixed race. And they'd be like, oh, you could be black and they'll like you. Oh, you could be white with a tan and they'll like you. So they would told me, the clients would say, oh, we'll hire you because we can get 3 or 4 people out of you for one. Okay, whatever. Now you see that on TV. So whatever you are authentically, whatever you are genuinely, that's what you need to do and be right now and broadcast, because that you're broadcasting a clearer frequency that is emitting an energy that is from the expanded consciousness of the all that is. And that is going into everything and every one that you connect with, everything that you do, and everyone that you connect with. That's what causes the shift. Ultimately, all change, all transformation comes from a shift in consciousness. And that shift brings more awareness. And when we have more awareness, we're able to see more sides, multi-levels, multi-dimensions. We're able to see not just one side, my side, your side, but there's other different opportunities. Then we're living with higher level of probabilities to draw in outcomes or co-create or create outcomes that are more alignment with a soul level, with a higher consciousness, with a higher vibrational frequency of expression and experience. So starseeds, you're seated with this. It's within you, and the time is now. The time is now. All right, so those of you that stayed with me on my talk, thank you so much. If you want to contribute to the channel, there's links below how to do this. If you'd like to connect with me further, you can go to soulplayground.life. You can join me at Awakenings Podcast. Also, you can connect with me Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, especially Insta and Facebook. Let me know in the comments as well. So now we are going to tune in and get to your starseed, light being, light worker, way shower reading. Hello, radiant starseed soul path travelers. It's wonderful to connect with you. So, okay, some of you may be jumping in at the reading right here. Some of you may have watched the other part of the video. Either way, it's all good. It's all perfect. And I'm glad to have you here. So this is soul story number 1 for starseeds. soul story number 2 for starseeds, and soul story number 3 for starseeds. So as a starseed, of course, you have a soul, your blueprint, your DNA, your soul signature, the way that you unfold in this life with your gifts. And we're going to be looking at basically your starseed mission. In the beginning of the video, which I recorded a couple weeks ago, I talked about some of the signs that you know that you're a starseed. I shared a little bit about my experience, having found out, I think I was around 8 when I got the message. And then later it was confirmed by one of my teachers, metaphysical teachers. So we're going to look and see if there's any support that you need right now as a starseed, what to be open to, what your focus needs to be right now, what do you really need to be focused on right now to enhance your gifts and to share more with the collective. Starseeds are seeded with the new information, the new template, the new emerging consciousness for the new paradigm. So you're here to help yourself individually, other people, the community, the earth, the universe at large. You are here to help in the soul alignment, ascension process, and awakening. So again, soul story number 1, number 2, and number 3. So just take a minute, take as long as you need to. You can always pause the video if you need more time. Now, for some people, it might be each soul starseed stack. It may be all of them or one of them. And also keep in mind, these are general readings. I want to put out some basic information for people to connect in with. And we'll just see how the unfolding goes. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's start. Let's start with number 1 here. And I don't know what is in the cards, but the first thing that I get here, if you chose this, is infinite possibilities. So I do feel that you're very progressive as a starseed, and many of you may have known that you're a starseed, or you've known something that was different about you. Maybe you've had healing capabilities earlier, but I do feel like you don't like to get boxed in. You like to have a wide berth, a wide breadth of insight and knowledge. You may have studied many disciplines, spirituality, metaphysics, alchemy, astrology. You might be very much in the healing arts, but I do feel that somehow you're able to tap into the infinite nature, the infinite source of the all that is, to help. And that is also your gift. I feel that you do help with others also, okay? So there is this extension or expansion of energy that you're able to tap into, source energies, the all that is, God, resonant fields, morphogenic fields, the field of consciousness itself. And I do feel like you're very much able to expand your awareness, and you are in a process of leveling and expanding in your consciousness to have more of an understanding of the use of your gifts and what you're doing here at this time. Okay, I'm going to actually do this a little differently. We're going to look at the card. Wow, so see, Star Child. It's interesting too, because I mentioned how I was a star child, a starseed as a child, and I was very apparent to my parents and some family and friends that something was quite different, especially that I started channeling at 4 at preschool. So some of you may have had visions growing up as an infant, as a child. You could have been kind of precocious, read earlier. A lot of starseeds, we read earlier. I read earlier. Of course, this is a different time. People are more digital and reading less. But you may be really drawn to new technologies, devices, computers. There could be a very strong Atlantean energy, maybe a little bit Lemuria also, but Atlantis, where you're working with crystals, technology, working with up-leveling people's vibrational frequency, also as well as your own. So, and you might like big spaces. I keep getting with this Starseed group that you don't like constriction or restrictions. Big picture thinking. Yeah, Pleiades energy, visionary. See? Infinite possibilities. Yeah, and you can't even plan this. I love this, how just opening to source energies, opening to the oversouls, the guides, the ascended masters, allowing them to come through to guide the messages that you most need to hear right now is, and look at above the head. See, so you're really downloading or channeling far thinking, progressive thinking, big ideas, your big picture thinking. You don't want to be limited, Starseed Group number 1. You don't want to be limited, and nor should you, because you came in to help people widen their ideas, widen their scope of thinking and being and expressing, to connect more to their interdimensional, other dimensional aspects of being. Many of you maybe even see spirits or work with spirits or other, your spirit team. Sacred journey. So you are very aware, Starseed Group number 1, that you are on a sacred journey, that this is a journey. Many of you, this may be your last journey here on Earth. This may be a last time that you're here. I do believe that you help others get on the journey, connecting more to their soul, their spiritual essence. So many of you might be into spiritual practice, meditation. I just feel like other disciplines, but I don't feel like you follow one thing. You probably blend it all together. Empowerment. You work with empowering. Look at this. Empowering people on the sacred journey. Okay, you're definitely here to help create new societies also. Some of you are putting plans in motion. Maybe you're some kind of builder. Yeah, I say community, and there it is right there. So you came here to empower individuals, but you do work best with a community or group, or maybe you've been feeling like you haven't found your group yet or your community. You are going to. The next 18 months are going to be very powerful for you. Whenever you're fighting this, these are timeless readings, timeless tune-ins and alignment. So some of you are very aware, again, of your starseed roots, and you just want clarification. And sometimes you get these huge ideas, these big ideas, and you're like, how can this ever happen? But you have to also join with other people. It's okay to have help. You're very community focused. Could be a lot of Aquarian, or maybe you have Aquarius energy in your chart. If you know your chart, or maybe you have something in Aquarius prominently, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, Mercury, or a lot in the 11th house of Aquarius. Those for you that do know your chart, that may be something you want to do and look at. I do feel an activation energy with this Starseed group. So you very well may be also activating people, or being able to give attunements, like through Reiki or pranic healing. I do feel channeling, though. I feel like you're almost maybe counselors or spiritual counselors. Even if you do another job that is more mundane, you may find that you are the one that always empowers people. Again, you could be working corporately, you could be working on your own and wanting to work more with a spiritual center or a group of like-minded individuals. On your journey, you will find yourself always gravitating towards a group or a group scenario, a group situation, okay, from which to share your gifts. I feel even on a mundane level, you help people see the big picture. Or if they're stuck, or if people are debating or arguing, or they can't quite move past something, you're able to help them move past their issues. Oh, you need to focus. Okay. So one of your gifts is actually focusing, but you can get thrown off sometimes by 3D situations or dramas within the group. Sometimes I feel... Starseed group number 1, sometimes I feel like you don't belong. You're in the group, but you recognize that you see things differently. You feel things from people, you see what's really going on. So sometimes you feel like, well, where's my support? I'm helping people, I'm holding the space here, the sacred space, I'm allowing the unfolding for people's healing. Where's my support? So you may have grown up and thought, I don't really fit in. I don't feel like I fit into the mainstream. This is your time. You're going to feel like, oh, I fit in. Because the truth is, starseeds, we fit in everywhere. Everywhere. The universe is our home. But through conditioning, you might feel yourself separate or different than most people that you're around. Many of you were brought up into families that didn't quite understand what you were seeing or feeling, and maybe you didn't have the words yet to articulate what you were going through. Some of you, I feel you've been able to go back to your family or talk to them and say, hey, this is why, this is what I'm about. And so there is this acceptance for you, Starseed Group number 1. There is this idea that you do somehow want to belong and have acceptance in your life. Oh, look at this, authentic truth. So one of the things you need to know right now is to connect with your authentic truth, and then you're going to share that with the world. You're going to share that through community activities, through groups. Now this could be governmental, it could be political, it could be educational, it could be corporate, it could be just a community living, or even a commune, group home, internet, online community. You're going to be reaching more people through the message that you have to relay to inspire people. You come in as a leader, Starseed Group number 1. You are a leader in what you do. But it's more as you focus on yourself and your path, you come into your own inner authority. You hear your own authentic voice and way of being, and you help others open up to their own authenticity, okay? So it's this time around, this lifetime, it's about you speaking your truth. You are a truth teller. Oh, look at this. Okay, seer. See, so many of you are psychic or you're channeling. That is a very strong starseed gift, is to be able to see beyond what is happening in the collective, in what we call the race consciousness, the mainstream consciousness, mainstream reality, or what is on the surface. You're able to see beyond that. You're able to see, many of you, into the future, many into the hearts and minds of people. You work a lot in the dream state is what I'm hearing, or through falling asleep, and you'll have these dreams or visions. See beyond your current situation. So many of you have to apply this to yourself. That's what you need to know right now. You need to apply seeing beyond your present circumstances. And ask yourself, where are the openings for me to share my gifts? Where are the openings for me to share my gifts? Because you did come here to share. This is the community card. Share the truth. If people can't handle the truth, then it's not the right vibrational mask. It's so funny. Match for you. But I also heard mask. Some of you have been wearing a mask, not fully revealing yourself. And that's why it keeps coming up with the authentic truth. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you have to always speak it. You have to live your truth. So some of you need to make some decisions in your life that people may wonder why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you doing this? I thought you were going in this direction. Now all of a sudden you're in this direction. What's going on? Spirit is saying you don't owe anybody any explanation, but you've got to get clear on it yourself. So let's look at your soul purpose. Medium, loved ones on the other side have messages for you. So this is telling me to connect with your star family. I do feel Pleiades, and I think it was here. Yeah, Pleiadian energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Now there's many systems, Arcanon, Andromeda, Sirius, the dog star, so there's, and some that we don't even know of, we kind of have some common names, but I wouldn't get hung up on the names. But I would say that many of you are a medium, or you're learning to be a medium, or they're saying cleanse and clear so you can be a clearer vessel to let higher frequency beings come through, as well as higher frequency information, more of the truth. Okay, so look at this big picture, big idea. So you may be getting some downloads or some guidance, and you're thinking, how am I going to do this? Or when am I going to have the time to do this? You have to trust, because you're attracting your soul family, your soul tribe. Okay, we incarnate within a group system that's working on things. That's why when I do my readings, I call them soul stories, because who I'm reading for, we all have a similar resonance, a similar vibrational frequency. That's for all readings or anything that we do in life. We have to have somewhat of the frequency, of the resonance and coherence. So you're on a mission, and some of you may be moving or leaving where you're living right now in search of more like-minded individuals. Some of you are really craving that because you feel like where you're at, you don't belong. But now Spirit is saying, as well as the guides and the oversouls, don't judge where you're at now is to reflect your consciousness or where you're going. See below the surface. So some of you may be still finishing up some scenarios, if you want to call karma. You're finishing up some things to move on. Okay? But connect into your ancestors. Be open to getting messages, dreams from other energies, entities, beings. A lot of you are working with other energies or entities, light beings. Look at Counselor. The trauma and pain you overcame now brings guidance and hope to other souls. So that's what I'm saying. So you are this visionary. As a starseed, you're helping people heal by what you see. Maybe you're seeing into their soul. You're seeing into what they need. But you're also helping because you've gone through it. Okay, some of you have gotten training because of what you've gone through. You're wounding. So you've gotten training to help people. This is saying to focus on your gifts right now. That's most what you need to know, is focus on making your gifts stronger, reinforcing them, feeling more comfortable with your gifts and how you help people and what you see and what you hear. So make sure you're clearing the lower level or denser energies or stuck states or conditioned response patterns, wounding, emotional wounding. Make sure that you're getting clearer and clearer as that seer, so you can step more into your role as that seer, that you help people navigate through this sacred journey, this earth journey, this soul journey on the earth. You're helping people navigate. So you're really guiding people as a seer. There's a lot that you see. Could be prophecy, but you need to focus. Don't let yourself get pulled off focus. Dreamer, dreams of, what did I just say? Prophecy, dreams of prophecy and history. So within your particular encoding, I do feel like you have the history. On some level what's going to already happen on this earth plane. And you've been here before. Many of you have been in Atlantean times and Lemurian times. I also get Andromeda, so I am getting Pleiades. I'm not getting Sirius, but could be. Don't get caught in that, and this is just a general reading. So what do you most need to know is to focus right now, to open up to other like-minded individuals. Know that many of you that I'm connecting with right now will be moving on, will be given some kind of group. We call it, you have your sphere of experience, and from your sphere of experience, you get your sphere of influence. Those you help to influence, that you assist on the sacred journey. That's what I call the soul journey. So many of you, again, seers, counselors, spiritual counselors, maybe you're using astrology, numerology, maybe runes, maybe Kabbalah, maybe sacred wisdom teachings. You are helping those on the path to focus on their own life and to understand what it is that they came here to do, but you're also helping to empower people. That's one of your gifts, is empowering. As you're more empowered, you're able to empower others. So you've come here to empower. That's one of your gifts. And what you need to know is to focus on your gifts, be empowered, and don't be impatient right now, because a lot is aligning for you on a community group level. Okay, High Priest, wisdom, keeper of the records, Akashic records, masculine, balanced, healing. We've got another Pleiadian, emissaries of light, ask for help. Show me we are here. See, you've got to ask for help. That's what I'm saying. Some of your goals, your dreams, what you want to create, what you want to make, what you want to do is very big, is big picture. And so you can get lost in the big picture. That's why Spirit is saying you need to focus. Yeah, you need to focus. Focus on something small. Focus on the steps. Focus on what you're doing. And those people that can help you are those openings. So those downloads or those visions, you're getting the big picture. What is it, launching a company? Maybe some of you, I feel you may even want a community. You want to found a community, or you want to have group property. You want to have multiple dwelling homes and people maybe even living off the grid. Whatever it is, the big picture. It's for so many of you, it's so different. The main thing is that you're getting these downloads. You have these big picture ideas in a way to help. But you have to ask for help. You have to focus. You have to ask for help. And right now, for many of you, that means reaching out to other people, or if they're reaching out to you, just to connect with them and see where it goes. New beginning, signs and elements. So be very aware of the signs that you're getting right now. They're guiding you. You're being guided by a group. I feel like there is a group that is guiding you, a spirit team, your galactic team, whatever. There is a group that you're being guided. There's a universal guidance for you so that you can do the work that you're meant to do. Okay? Someone just heard me. Okay, no, you're not going to do it alone, but many of you might find yourself alone right now where you're having to really go within. Because when I see this community card, this is telling me you're not going to be alone. Or some of you may already be in community, or you may have online groups, or maybe you have a YouTube channel, where you're doing readings or helping others. Some of you are gifted writers, is what I'm hearing. So you might be on Instagram or blogging or something, I don't know, Facebook or whatever platform. But I do feel that many of you came in this way. You're not just awakening to it. You're just perhaps maybe learning how to align more. Okay. Let's see if anything else comes in. Focus on the infinite possibilities. And then I would say write out what it is you're envisioning, or do a voice note so that you get it out of your head. And then focus on the steps, 1 to 2 to 3 steps, 1 to 3 steps that you can do. Easy steps, because Spirit is sending you people to help. I feel like you are going to be connecting more to your star family, where you feel the support. And some of these star family and even other aspects of you, you're going to be meeting up. I'm also hearing you're going to be catching up with your future self. So some of you get glimpses of where you're going, and then you get excited, but then you get overwhelmed. Okay? So you are a star child. You are a child of the universe. You are a star seed. You are seeded with that new information, and your focus is the infinite possibilities of the all that is, the infinite source and resources. And so as a seer, as a channeler of this information, of this guidance you receive, you help others to live out their infinite possibilities. You empower. You are here to be empowered and to empower others. All right, I'm going to give you a Starseed mantra as I live from my authentic truth and live more empowered, I am able to assist others in living their truth and living more empowered. This allows them to manifest from infinite possibilities. So this Starseed group, you are manifestors. Okay, if you feel held back right now, it's just a timing issue. You are manifestors. So as you are becoming more and more empowered, living more awake, aware, you're helping others to do that. You're living from your truth. You're helping others live from their truth. You're helping them connect to the infinite possibilities, to manifest from the infinite possibilities. So on a soul level, we have a destiny. So there is some, what we might call an earth level or human level limitation, right? We have Saturn here on the earth. But you want to manifest your dreams, your desires, your goals from the infinite possibilities. Not from the human level, 3D level, even 4D level, not from this manual that gets passed on in society that doesn't ever really work, or what people tell you you should do. You want to manifest from infinite possibilities. That's source energies, infinite source energies. That's where the juice is. And you have that ability naturally within you. All right, Starseed group number 1, please let me know how this resonated for you and to you. Leave me comments and let me know if you're already in this unfolding. And if you do feel a resonance, please like and subscribe. Get the notifications as well. All right, Radiant Lights, thank you so much. All right, Starseed group number 2. Hello, welcome. Open heart. Many of you are healing your heart. Many of you have left someone behind, or you feel that your counterpart needs to be with yours in separation, or you know that you're meant to work in a unit. Okay, so many of you are, as Starseed, you're working on the wounding, the human wounding that you had to go through or endure, which also gave you more resonance to be on the earth plane. And so you are healing. Many of you are having heart openings. You're opening your heart more to love, to life. Okay, what will also help you, you notice you've got the color blue here, this indigo. Some of you may be indigos as well, but is speaking your truth, living your truth, getting clarity, making sure before you speak or do something that you have clarity. Ask your guides for signs, for messages, for symbols, for confirmation. Okay, I do feel this Starseed group, you're learning how to navigate more from the heart. When you connect more to your Starseed roots, you're going to realize you have this big heart. Or maybe people have told you, wow, you're so compassionate, or you know, you're such an empath, or you're so empathetic, or I could feel your heart energy, or gosh, you have a good heart, you know, or you always try to do what's right or help others. Some of you do through wounding, it's shut down a bit and you went into your head a lot. So there is this realignment, this reconfiguring is what I'm hearing energetically. This reconfiguring is so that you can open up your heart again and navigate more from your heart. On the earth plane, you know, we navigate from the gut, the heart, the brain, right? The mind is the vehicle to kind of figure it out. It's the intermediary aspect, in a sense, of our being. Hopefully navigated from the highest aspect of us through the higher self. So let's look and see what's perception. See, so you're changing your perception. This lifetime, this dimension. Right now, your perception is changing. And I feel like you help people, or you will, I feel two groups in this. There are those that are awakening to this or looking at this possibility, and there are those that recognize, and maybe when you watch this video, you're going to say, oh, yeah, I always help people enlighten them or get a different perspective on things, or I always give the other side, kind of like a Libra energy, you know, I give the other side to balance things out. But your perception is also changing of yourself, the world, and your role in it. And it has a lot to do with opening up to your feeling nature, understanding your feelings and letting your feeling nature, your spiritual essence guide you, move you, nudge you. The spirit is the life force animating energy of us. So we can feel where spirit wants us to go, and moving more from the blueprint of your soul or matrix of your soul. You got the love. Oh, wow. Okay. Energy, codependence. Okay, see that? Boundaries. So many of you may have come in very much with a huge heart opening. And early on, there was a lot of heartache, maybe being taken advantage of. So you're learning boundaries to how to keep the heart open, be very open and receptive, yet discerning. That may be the perception where you're discerning where to put your energy. So you can still have your heart open, but have a stricter boundary physically and emotionally with people, right? So this is a very powerful learning lesson for you right now. Soul story number 2, you starseed beings. This soul group, this starseed soul group number 2, you are learning or have been learning some major lessons about relationship, relating, waiting for people, trying to help people along, trying to help your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, twin soul, twin flame. You really try to help people, to try to heal them on an emotional level. And for many of you, it's left a lot of wounding. You've experienced a lot of loss in love. Now that's given you a certain resonance and also a certain empathy. Okay, that's also opened you up to empathy. So let's look and see. But it's also time for you to not do that anymore, to change your perception of how you view boundaries and connection. So don't be afraid to be distant from someone, especially if they're not giving back to you, okay? Because we do have this reciprocal energy universally and on the earth plane that we do need. That is what the law of reciprocity is, one of the universal laws. But you've got the love within you. So this is about not waiting from anyone anymore. This is a deep love relationship with yourself. Awaken. You're awakening to yourself. Okay, you are an awakener, and I want to validate you. I really want to acknowledge you. A lot of you have helped people awaken to their own sense of self, their individuality, their gifts, to love. You've helped people awaken to love. For some of you, it has not been reciprocated because the people weren't there yet. So you've kind of been letting off or winding out of kind of some karmic learning lessons of being able to be there for some. Now this is great because you can be there for someone. You know how to be there for someone. But now things are changing where it's about other people being there for you also. Look at this, 6th ray of devotion. So the 6th ray has to do with devotion, heart opening, compassion. It's also the ray of bhakti. Okay, in Hinduism, in Sanskrit, bhakti means devotion. It means love. So what would be helpful for you is mantra meditation, chanting, kirtan, singing, humming, movement, ecstatic dance, anything that you can get into the ecstasy. Okay, the ecstasy of the all that is, the ecstasy of love. Tantra would be amazing. Practicing on your own, with a partner or without a partner, partnering with yourself. It's time to partner also with yourself. Awaken to the energy, the love that you are. Through the energy of healing the heart and opening the heart. So Spirit is saying it's time to open the heart. Even though it's been hurt, you can change your perception, your view of how you interact with people without having to close your heart, is what I'm hearing. So yes, bhakti meditation, bhakti yoga. You can look it up online. This is the bhakti. It's about devotion to life, feeling excited. Like when I start to do these readings, I just start getting so excited. I start getting so fulfilled. Sometimes I start crying because I can feel everybody. I'm connecting with everyone. So what does that for you? Is it art? Is it music? Is it dance? What brings this ecstatic energy to you? You've come in on that sixth ray of devotion, of awakening this in others. Tantrika. You come in to connect to this ecstatic universal energy. I can just feel it coming up. Okay? So some of you may have to get over a perception of, is that bad, you know? And that you can do it on your own. You don't always need to have another person. You can celebrate this energy with yourself, okay? Because you are the love. You have the love. That's what bhakti devotion, that's what it teaches us. The chanting, the call and response, kirtan, dance, movement, ecstasy, devotion is love, is tapping in to the energy of love, how it feels to feel that love, feel that connection. You might be very tactile or kinesthetic, kind of like to hug people or touch. Sacred wisdom. Okay, so you're also bringing that sacred wisdom through the body. There's a lot through the body, through devotion. I feel that many of you relay how you feel. It could be a look, but I also feel touch. I feel touch is very important to you and for you. Look at this. Yeah, you're wanting your soul family. Some of you are connecting with your soul family. And you're wanting to be, you want a family. You have the memory of being in a very close, sacred one-on-one, and you want that again. You want a family. I do feel that is going to happen for you. If it hasn't already. Maybe some of you already have your family. Look at this, light beings. Yes, that's right. See, you're a light being starseed. Interdimensional, other dimensional and interdimensional being. You're working with many light beings that are coming through you. Now, what will happen is they begin to manifest on the denser physical plane, also known as Earth. So these light beings that you're seeking, that you have this communion with, this devotion, this love with, that maybe you connect with them on the etheric plane or through dreams, or maybe you've done journey work or certain workshops or breath work, and you have felt these beings around you. That means they're etherically around you, and you're picking up that they will be manifesting in denser physical form. You will be meeting them through synchronicity, through synchronistic connecting and events, situations. It's most what you need to know right now is you are connecting. You are a light being starseed, and you will be connecting with your soul family. So what you're feeling, that urge to connect, is a big part of you. You awaken people through connection, through feeling. Oops, something that just dropped. I always have to look and see what it is that dropped. Argatha, connect with inner earth balance. Okay, so what's going to help you is connecting to the earth. Again, devotion. So you might tend, when there's pain, you might tend to pop out of your body or try to escape or get out of your body, leave your body, or be less grounded. But actually, Starseed's, group 2, what is actually going to help you is actually getting more into the body, more into the earth. Divine feminine, honoring the ways of the sacred feminine. That's the opening up. That's the love, the embracing. See, you want to embrace everyone. But again, you're going to have to just reframe. Oh, look at, okay. And then you come in as the heart guardian. This is the energy that you're bringing in. Again, heart open. So you're the guardian of the heart. You as you're healing your heart more, you're going to find yourself healing other people's hearts. Some of you do this very consciously through the work that you do. You're very heart-centered. And some of you, this is just how you live and how you are in relationship. I also am here to tell you what you most need to know is you're going to be attracting more reciprocal relationships, more heart-centered relationships where you're also receiving. See, this is the ways of the sacred feminine. So some of you have been very in touch with your feminine, but your feminine has been greatly wounded. We could say because, okay, you gave to the wrong people or the people that couldn't give back to you. But yeah, that's like some of it is the wounding. But it's hard as a starseed because you do come in very open. You have to kind of learn how to navigate on the earth plane. I mean, what can I say? You just... I even have it myself. It's just like on a human level, you see what people are doing, and it's like, what? The being hurt. Gaia needs you. Ground your light. See, here we go again. You need to ground. Starseed Group number 2. You need to ground your energy. You need to be more earthed. You're not going to get stuck here. You're not going to lose your higher frequency energy or your power, your empowerment. That you have to change your perception. You're meant to bring that into the earth, all of this into the earth. Wow, attracting, look at this. So you got soul family in this deck, and you got it here. And this says you are attracting your soul family. So that's from my heart to your heart. What I really want you to know is you're not alone. And I know you've been feeling other beings. You've been feeling supported and guided etherically. You've been feeling your star family. But, it's different. You don't see them in the denser physical form or to hug them and touch them. So you are attracting your soul family. Soul contracts and awakening others. So you've got awakening twice. So you are here to help people awaken. Starseed soul family. You're here to help people awaken. But you are in a constant, that's what my podcast is, Awakenings with Michele. We're in a succession of awakenings. So you're in a process. Many of you are going through another spiritual awakening. You're moving more into your soul alignment, where you're aligning more to your soul and recognizing that a big part of your soul is your starseed lineage, your star family, your starseed roots, what you've been encoded with as a starseed. So you want to find more starseeds, people that are more embracing of that energy. You're wanting that galactic energy, that universal energy that's beyond duality, that's beyond the extremes of the polarity plane. It's right here. You came in yearning for this family. Now this reading is telling you, you are attracting those that you have soul contracts with. Some of your contracts have ended. So that's why you're feeling a bit alone or on your own. Those contracts are over. You're in the space, in the void. The void will be filled up with that next generation, that next level, the up-leveling of your star family. Okay? You're attracting your soul family as a starseed. Souls that are starseeds. Beautiful. Earth Keeper, you have been sent to Mother Earth to protect Mother Earth. So this is allowing the higher frequency love vibration. You call it agape, universal love, love from the universal heart. It's less binary love. It's love that's beyond duality, beyond the polarity plane. You have a nice mix of the masculine and feminine energies, okay? So you need to connect to the earth. Don't keep it all up here in your mind or out there somewhere. Bring it in the body. That's why for you the ecstatic dance, singing, mantra, kirtan, call and response, bhakti. Get into the bhakti, and which is also getting into the body and being earthed. Shaman, your soul carries ancient wisdom teachings. Okay, so I definitely am hearing that you're here to connect to the universal heart. and you're channeling or passing on that universal heart energy. You're healing right now. Many of you are in a deep healing right now, a deep heart healing. You're reframing, you're getting a new perception so that you know how to connect with others and have your heart remain open, but you're able to discern where and how much to give. Now, some people you may not even, you're just going to telepathically give to them. You're going to energetically give to them on a spiritual level, but you recognize on an emotional and physical level, it's best not to be around them. Okay? So you're getting the gift of discernment at this time. Okay? All right, your Starseed mantra. I am now able to lovingly discern, leaving my heart open. I choose where and how to extend my energy. Okay? It's all about the extending of your energy. All right, Starseed Group number 2. Keep that heart open, but you can still have your heart open wide as you've come in with, but have boundaries. Discern where and how you are putting your energy, where and how you are using your energy. All right, much peace and soul light. Hello, Starseed Group number 3. I've been waiting for you. I have no idea about this group. I have so much just interesting energy around this group. I feel that this is a very interdimensional group. Maybe with a lot of mixed culture, mixed race, multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-race, or multidisciplinary. There's something multi-universe, multi-dimensional, multifaceted. You may also like to move a lot, or you are multitaskers. You come in with this energy that you're able to balance a lot. And you do it through your body temple, you do it through your thinking, through your mind, you do it to what you're focused on, how you live. You may be balancing multiple projects. If you chose this Starseed Group number 3, says where there is a will, there is a way. So you're able to push through, pull someone through, pull yourself through, push, nudge. You're able to go the extra mile. You're able to go the distance. Great stamina, energy. You're able to project your energy, your voice. So Spirit is wanting to know that where there is a will, there's a way. Okay, so some of you are needing help right now. And hopefully what I share with you will be helpful. Oh, see, manifestation. Yes, you're magicians. I'm telling you, you starseeds are sorcerers. You're alchemists, magicians. You work with making the less ideal more and more ideal, or you can see the vision. Like you could buy a house and people are like, what are you buying this for? This apartment, or you rent an apartment and then you fix it up and they're like, whoa, I love this place. Chill pad, or clothing. You could be designing clothes or redo clothes. So you redo you again, sleight of hand, the magician. You're able to transmute energy to create transformation in your own life and other lives, other people's lives. So you work a lot with energy. You're an adept at energy work, energy healing. I almost want to say like, what do you call it? Qigong, Tai Chi, martial arts. Anything that requires updating, up-leveling. Now, you could also be doing this in computers or updating or up-leveling things. you're always changing. This Starseed group, you're always somehow changing. You are that magician, but you recognize that it all comes from the light. It comes from source energies through you. I feel that some of you also work with a guide. You have a guide that works with health issues, a medical practitioner or a doctor on the other side. I do feel very strong Atlantean roots. Some of you around also by the time of Stonehenge, Egyptian time, Roman, Greek, ancient Greece, Caprius, something like that. Capri, maybe, I don't know. You have had other lifetimes here. You do like your galactic roots. You like your starseed roots. You miss home. Many of you miss home. You miss the universal energy or connection. I didn't put animal cards or anything in here, but I'm getting a lot with you with dolphins. So there might be something interesting about your voice, or that you do with your voice, or the way that you sing or communicate. I do feel some of you are already telepathic. Many of you are learning how to be more telepathic or to be telepathic. You're able to project ideas. Sometimes I feel this Starseed group, you get a thought in your mind or you have a dream and it's like, why was I dreaming that? Well, because you were picking up on what someone else was picking up. So you're very porous, very open on the mental plane, telepathically. Wow, authority. So you're learning your own inner authority. This is about connecting in to the divine masculine of your being that can create change or puts things that you envision on the mental realm into some kind of form. So many of you have a lot of authority, or some of you are just growing into your authority. Maybe you're younger. Those of you that are viewing this, again, many people are going to be watching this. But the message is to connect more to your own authority and to follow your own inner authority. What did I say about transformation? Making the less ideal more ideal. And we've got the transformation card. So you know how to work with energy. You are an alchemist. You have many lifetimes as an alchemist. I do feel like your home planet is very mental, is very telepathic, and works a lot with energy and with stones. I don't believe there's food or eating, well, most other planets, only on the Earth, and we will be breatharians before it's over, or eating less. You might find you're not eating a lot, Starseed Group number 3. You might find you're not eating a lot, that you're just fulfilled by other things. Okay, so Spirit's saying get your sustenance, but you may be cutting down on what you eat or how you eat. There's changes to your diet is what I'm hearing. Trust the timing of things. So some of you are so used to transforming energetically or on the mental realm, envisioning it. I even see some of you have been able to, I'm hearing Sai Baba, so some of you could have been devotees. It's like having sand and rubbing it, and then it turns into a crystal, or turns into a diamond, or turns into money. So you're able to take the energy that you have, and that's where there is a will, there's a way. You're able to use your energy in a persistent manner to manifest what you need and want. And part of your gift is also, I feel for many of you, could be a kind of a singular path, but you have the opportunity to help others do this as well. Yeah, activated earth, power places, trust where you're at. Okay, so be patient with yourself right now, but you're receiving some activation. Okay, some of your light codes are opening. Okay, so you're getting activated right now where you're at. That's where you're at. Look at this master healer. Look at this, very powerful. Again, healing is making wholeness, bringing wholeness. So you are a master manifester, working with transformation. Okay, you're going through your own transformation right now to connect in with your own healing light energies, to connect into the mystical aspect of you, the magician that is able to channel the energy and use with the intention, use what you see intuitively or through your visions or visualization to make them a reality. So many of you are in that state of awareness right now, that state of consciousness where you're manifesting or trying to manifest. You're working on manifesting this next level in your life. Okay, also focusing on wellness, health, healing, and balance, which is also transformation, which is also being that master healer. Okay, I get a lot with this group with energy work, energy healing. Nourish. See, what did I say? So nourish your body, but also nourish your mind is what I'm hearing. With the thoughts that are in alignment with the truth of who you are, that magician energy. So nourish yourself with the thoughts, the people, the environment, what you ingest or take in that align to that magician energy, the transformative energy that you've come in with as the master healer. Now, many of you, I feel, on your home planet, you did work with healing modalities, and a lot of it was through energy and or intention. So aligning your intention and energy to facilitate healing. Wow, look at this. Shaolin master. Okay, so the martial arts works with the body, right? Health, nutrition, but a Shaolin master or any master that a martial artist works with energy. It's all about the energy. The energy flows. You feel somebody's going to karate chop or hit or punch before. You already feel the energy. So this soul story, this Starseed group would do well to work with energy, maybe even do Qigong, Tai Chi, martial arts, yoga, okay, different forms of yoga, Nidra yoga, Yin yoga, any kind of yoga, anything that's connecting you with your body, the energy of your body. And especially right now, as I feel like a lot of you are cleansing and kind of clearing, is to release toxins, release parts of your, stretch and release parts of your body that somehow need attention. You may need to stretch more. You're releasing on a cellular level, but movement will help you heal more, will help you flush through or move through. Hope this is making sense. Let's see what we've got here in the soul purpose. Divine channel. You connect with and decode frequency from higher dimensional beings. Remember I said you're working with higher dimensional beings. So it's going to be easier for you to do that and connect with your planetary vibration, planetary beings, star brothers and sisters, however you want to look at it, in the cleansing and clearing. And again, I do feel like you've been sent here to perhaps learn or relearn or remember this type of healing. Energy and intention, this type of healing. See, look at it's coming from other planets, see? So you could, again, have a medical doctor, there could be a guide or a group of beings that you're connecting with that are guiding you in healing to help you remember. Now, some of you are learning a new technique of healing, but really look at this card. I mean, look at it's all, you're learning here on the earth plane, but it's triggering memories. It's triggering already what's inside you, and it's allowing you to be of the resonance to receive the information from other planetary beings, from your home planet. You have been on earth before. Yeah, divine masculine, growth. So you're in a growth cycle right now. A growth spurt is what I'm hearing. Connecting with higher dimensional beings. Travels the universe, defeating darkness. So wherever there is stuck energy. I don't even like the word darkness, because darkness is the void. It's the feminine. It's the potential. But where there's dense energy that's become stuck or congealed, that's no longer free-flowing or no longer life-enhancing, you have the ability to move that through. That creates that transformation. You're actually working with transmutation. Some of you might even be designing jewelry. I don't know where that came from, but it's powerful jewelry, so you could charge it or work with crystals even. But working with the body. Look at Divine Feminine you've got here. You are a master of duality or darkness. See, that's what you need to step into, Starseed Group number 3, is mastering the negative energy and the positive energy, the masculine, the feminine, the electrical and the magnetic, the dark and the light. Mastering that energy. There you are as that mastery. Look at that little energy ball right there. This is all energies coming. All energy comes from one source. There is only one source. It manifests differently vibrationally. The darkness or negative energy is the feminine. It's the void. It's the womb, the cosmic womb. So as you harness this energy, you're really able to tap into higher frequency beings, other dimensional beings, higher frequency information, to bring it forward for healing, for health and healing, healing others. So you may want to be doing some shadow work and reframe of the dark and light and shadow. Kind of get out of that dualistic thinking. You are traveling astrally, so you're probably healing a lot on the emotional body. Maybe you're connecting with people astrally, on the astral plane as well, but you're healing the emotional body. Many of you are healing the emotional body. Many of you are seeing 1111, Awakening Cove. This is synchronicity because you're getting attunement, you're getting tune-ups, you're getting more soul aligned so that these gifts can be decoded for you so that you can more easily access them and allow yourself to receive this higher frequency energy. And the Divine Feminine, and protect yourself, anchor your light. Okay, so this to me is just about the grounding. Now, the other thing I feel that you need to know is that it's connecting with your own inner knowing, that you become the authority of your own life, of what's right for you. And I feel like you have the ability to open up to lead. So many of you are leaders in your own right, okay? Or maybe you always have a different thought or a different way of doing things. And then people come back around and say, God, you were right, or that's a good idea, or I thought about it, why don't we try it the way that you said? So some of you are going to be learning to speak up more, but many of you are going to be doing this through telepathy and through intention. Maybe you put the idea out there and then you see if it comes back to you or if people are open to it. But you are that master of movement and action, working with intention and energy. Let's see, what else do you need to know? The Magician. What do you need to know right now is to be very aware of what you're nourishing yourself with. What are you taking in right now? Or who is around you, because you're very open right now, so you could be being influenced. Or you could ask yourself, is this my energy or someone else's? Is this my thought or someone else's? Because you're opening. You don't want to close down right now. You want to remain open, but you want to be able to discern if this is your energy or someone else's, your worry, your anxiety, your fear, or someone else's. Or maybe it is a little bit yours, and then you can handle that. But you may only have 20 or 25% of it, and the rest, that 75% or 80%, is coming from someone else. And remember, where there is a will, there is a way. So you're able to work within the frame, using the universal laws, to work within the earth laws. specifically Saturn, patience, time, learning something new, committing something to memory, doing something consistently over and over so it takes hold, putting in the time, the energy, and the effort. So many of you are doing something new, you're learning something new, and you need to remember that it's just going to take a while. It's going to take some consistency because you are working on the earth plane. But don't give up. Don't become disheartened. Or if you feel like giving up, you're almost there. So it's just taking some time. It's taking some energy. You do have the will, and you will find a way to this unfolding that you're in. Now, some of you, it's going to be in relationship. Some of you, it is also in career, or both. Because some of you, I feel you're working with someone or working through something. Remember, as a starseed, you have come in with this higher frequency energy, and you are working with higher dimensional beings of light. And they can help you in healing. They can help you in having the energy to move forward or follow through on your dreams. They can help you with commitment and consistency, okay? So open to receive, to ask for help. Okay, so your Starseed mantra. I am now open to receive all the help and support I need from my star family and earth family to transform my life and be of service on this earth plane. Okay. I do hope this resonated with you. I do hope it brought some insight, some understanding, some clarity. If it did and you resonate, please subscribe. I would love that. And you get the notifications for when I upload. And also, just let me know how this landed for you. Let me know how you feel about your little mini reading tune in here. I'd love to hear how this unfolds for you, and I love when I hear the confirmations and the synchronicities. So keep shining your light. Shine bright, Starseeds.